Hello, I'm Jay, owner of Volunteer Audio in Oliver Springs, Tennessee, making a video showing you how to do a software update on your new Soundstream Reserve V2 radio. First off, let me tell you these radios have been in the hands of consumers for about a week. We've run into a couple things that were found. If we stop on the wrong pages on the radios, let's say we cut our radio off and we're on the gauge screen or the motorcycle info screen, sometimes when we reboot the radio, we lose Maestro connectivity. The iDataLink Maestro module is what gives us our hand controls and our custom gauges. We also had a few times that it would drop out while riding. Well, Soundstream very quickly, as soon as they found out these problems existed and we were able to reproduce them or replicate them, they have made us some software updates to take care of that, and I'm making this video to show you how to do that. So watch the video. I'm going to show you how to download the file, how to properly put it on your USB drive, and then how to put it in the radio. And if you'll follow this, it'll be very easy. And as ongoing updates come out, you can follow this same video, this same process to update your radio and to get the best use out of your new Soundstream Reserve V2. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring up our disk utility or wherever it is in your computer that allows you to reformat your USB drive. Let's talk about that drive first. Your USB drive needs to be a name branded drive. The one I'm using is a SanDisk. It's what they call a cruiser. It is only 8 gig in size, but we see that it needs to be 16 gigabytes or smaller. If you do a larger USB flash drive, the radio will not recognize it. It's very important that we get a good quality drive of the proper size because we do not want to mess up our radio by partially updating or not properly updating it. We do this at Volunteer Audio on every new radio, and if you'll follow these steps, I know you're going to be successful and you're not going to have anything fail. So here we are. I'm on our disk utility, and I'm going to see about doing I'm going to erase it. I'm going to make it, and this is really reformatting it. I'm going to rename it as V2 Update. And I'm going to do FAT32 as our format. So you want to format your disk as FAT32. Name it whatever you want. All right, so now we have our drive. It is formatted. It is ready to go. So now we're going to go to our next step. Let's go to the correct website now to get our update. So we're going to go to Safari. You're going to see here that Ronnie is the VP of Sales at Soundstream. He recently showed in our new group, this is the Soundstream Reserve V2 users group, that they released an update. They did that on Friday. It corrected some issues where the iDataLink Maestro at times would not communicate with the radio. So you'll notice here's his link. You're going to have to go to motorcycleaudio.com/V2-update. Now we'll have a link above in the video you can click as well as in the description of this video. And I also want to tell you that just because we're doing an update today doesn't mean that this will be the ongoing update. As things come out, as new updates become available, this page will be updated with new files. So you want to do the latest update. Let's click here and go to the V2 update page. All right, so here we are, and you'll see we have a warning right at the beginning before attempting this update. Read these instructions carefully. Don't skip any steps. Be sure to use a blank flash drive, formatted to FAT32, a name brand such as SanDisk, Samsung, etc. If the flash drive is not empty, be sure to format it, and you can find instructions here on how to do that. So if you need to know how to do that, you can click here and move further. It says it's a minimum of a 4 gig or larger USB drive. And remember what I told you, don't go past 16 gig. We have no luck with 32 gig or larger drives. They don't seem to work well. And they recommend the SanDisk Cruiser. That's what I'm using in this one. So now we're going to download our ISP.boot.bin file from this link. So we hover over where it says this link. We're going to click it. We're going to download it. Now I will tell you, if you notice here, it says there's only 2 O's. The actual file will have 3, but it has to be this exact file and it needs to be in your USB drive. So let's download it. All right, so that file has now downloaded to the bottom of my page into my downloads. I'm going to take that file and I'm going to drop it into my USB drive. So let me go ahead and bring up my drive and get it on page here. All right, so I have my V2 update file. I'm going to go to my downloads and we're just waiting on it to finish downloading. All right, so now that my file is downloaded, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to drop it into my USB drive. That's 202 megabytes on this particular update. So you'll see, like I say, as time goes on, they'll do additional updates, and those updates will do everything the previous updates did, and they'll get you caught up. Always follow the directions on the screen. So now we're waiting on this to load to our USB drive. It's moving pretty quick. Now this is a USB-A flash drive. We are going to use the USB-A input. That's the next part we're going to do when we get to our bike. We're going to use that factory USB. We're not using the USB-C. The USB-C is for charge only on this radio. So now that we have our ISP-BOOT.bin file in here, I'm just going to eject the drive. So it will let me remove it. All right, so now that we've done that, let's go over the rest of our directions here. All right, so next we're going to go to the bike, and I'll take you to the bike and we'll show you this here in just a second so you see what it's like. We're going to connect it into the USB-A input in the factory storage pocket. We're looking at an Ultra, Street Glide, or Electric Glide in this picture, but if you have a Road Glide, it's going to be in your right storage pocket. We're going to turn on the bike's power. We're going to bring the radio up. We're going to go to Apps. We're then going to go to Settings. We're then going to go to System, and we're going to scroll down to About. Once we get to About, we're going to click Update. It's then going to ask us if we want to update. It's going to show us the file, the current file, and the upgraded version. And then we're going to go through the process. Now again, I'm going to take you right back to a bike where I can show you this happen, because I want you to see this actually happen across the radio. It's very important that while we're doing the update that we do not cut the radio off and we let it completely finish its update. And then at the end, we're going to verify in our radio that our update numbers for our MCU and our SOC match exactly what it shows on this page. Again, if they do a future update where they change these file numbers, this web page will be updated, and we're going to use these same steps, but we're going to verify with the numbers that are available on the website. All right, I'm going to get my USB drive. Let's go to the bike and get it updated. All right, so I just showed you how to get your file downloaded and put on your flash drive. I'm using a SanDisk Cruiser 8 gig drive. Already got my file on it, and we're here at the radio. Now I'll tell you, it's really been about a week since the radio has been in the hands of consumers. And there were a few things that weren't on our pre-production models that once the final software came out, we had a couple issues, and Soundstream has been phenomenal. They have very, very quickly took care of every issue. Now I'll tell you, there is a new iDataLink Maestro MRR or MRR2 update as well. We've got other videos showing you how to do those updates. Make sure if you have not updated your radio that you update to the latest firmware from them. Now their update fixed the mile per hour icon on the home screen, where it now displays your speed while moving. So if yours isn't working, that update is out. That has to do with the iDataLink Maestro module, not the radio itself. This video is how to update the radio and take care of some other issues. Now there'll be other updates in the future for both of those modules, most likely. And I want to tell you, if you're a customer of Volunteer Audio and you bought the MRR, now you're thinking, man, I wish I'd got the MRR2 because I can update it from my phone. Reach out to us. I have no problem at all upgrading you from the MRR to the MRR2. Just pay the difference in them, and we'll get you one that you can update from your phone. So if there's more future updates, you don't have to pull your fairing. But let's go to our bike. We're going to take our USB drive, and we're going to update our radio. First, let's get our radio on. Now, you want to make sure you have a well-charged battery. You may even think about putting it on a battery tender during this process to make sure that our battery voltage doesn't go low. All right, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our USB-C. This is a Road Glide, so it's going to be on our side pocket. We're going to plug in our drive. If it was a Street Glide, it'd be just to the right of the radio, and it would be in the storage pocket there. So we're going to go to Home. We're going to go to Apps, and we're going to go over and we're going to find our Settings icon. Once we're at Settings, we're going to make sure we're in our System Settings, and we're going to scroll to where we see the About screen. So now that we're at where we see About, it gives us our current software, our device ID, which is also our serial number, and then the option to update. So now that we have our drive installed, we're going to hit Update. Now I want you to make sure when you start this, do not cut the bike off for any reason. We do not want to stop mid-update. Here's our current version. Here's our new software version. And now we're going to click Update. You're going to have to wait and be very, very patient. As you see, our radio looks like it is cut off. It is going to reboot up to a load screen, and it's going to show that we're doing our software update. It's going to wait a couple seconds. Don't freak out. It is doing its thing in the background. You just can't see it. So here we are. Our load screen is back up live. It says new version of software. It's going through here, giving us the build date for that update. But now it is loading this in the background. Do not cut the ignition off. So just keep waiting. You're going to see the radio. There you go. There's our status bar showing that it's in the middle of the update. So it's counting across that bar. We're going to wait till it's all the way done, and then we will see the radio reboot itself once it's completed. The guys at Soundstream have made this process very, very easy. You can download this, like I say, on their website at the link in the description of this video or above. We've put the link up a few times above us here where you can just click it and go straight to their page. But you want to make sure you follow the directions. We've updated, this will be about 500 of the first radios we've updated here in-house. We've had no problems. They've all updated. They've all went very, very well. And if you follow these directions, you won't have any trouble as well. But I do want to tell you it's very important that you follow the directions. If you use the wrong size drive, a low quality drive, if you don't put the right file on it, you could brick the radio, which would be a lot of hassle on you, shipping it back and forth and trying to get it replaced. So we want to make sure we follow these directions to a T. So you see our load bar just finished. Our radio is going to reboot. Now we're going to go into our settings menu and just make sure that we see that new software inside of the settings menu. So we just did a full system reset, so we just went back to FM without a channel. So let's go over here to settings. We're going to go down to about, and now you're going to see we have that 512 on the MCU and 621 on the SoC. These are dates, if you notice. 512 of 24, 621 of 24. So these are up to date. Our update went well, and now our radio is good to go. Now, if there are any new updates that come out, we're going to try our best to share them in our Facebook users group. We did a new group. It's called Soundstream Reserve V2 Users. Join that group. We're going to give you a lot of tips and tricks on how to use your radio. Some of the things that people reported as bugs or issues, we're really just not knowing how to properly use it. We've made a bunch of videos that we're sharing there to help you through that process. If there are any actual issues or bugs or things that are found and there's an update release to fix them, we're going to share that on there as well, just like this video. So thank you for watching. Thank you for purchasing. Even if you didn't buy it from Volunteer Audio, I hope this still helped you. We're never trying to cut anybody out. And even if you didn't buy from us, join the V2 users group. It's going to help you learn how to use your radio and get the most out of it. Like this video, by doing so, it's going to move us up in search results. It's going to allow other people to find the video they need on how to update their radio. Subscribe to Volunteer Audio for the latest in Harley audio, from new products to how to install it, to how to use it, and like this video, how to update it as well. If you have any comments or questions, comment below. We'll be happy to respond to those. And if you need help, maybe you want to buy one of these radios, or you want to buy an amp and speaker combo to go along with it, give us a call at 1-844-30-AUDIO to speak to our sales staff. They're knowledgeable, they're helpful. They'd love to talk to you about your build, your budget, your bike, and come up with that perfect system for you. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, God bless.